before we start, and I introduce myself, I just want all of you to be comfortable with each other. So we can just talk to each other, just share your name, what do you do, if you have not done it yet. So you also identify your group itself and the people who are sitting around with you. So just take a couple of seconds, just say your names to each other in your smaller groups. Two is good. I have a washroom and there's one person there also. So they can join me. All right, folks. Familiar? Familiar? Slightly. I'm sure, like smaller groups, so everybody is familiar with each other already. But it's good to know whom we are doing this practice with. So I'll set the intentions for what we are going to do. We're going to be doing a reflection exercise. Mirror within is the reflection of self, and pun intended and not intended at the same time. So we're going to reflect on a couple of journeys, a couple of triggers, a couple of things that we like and not like, and just try to build a pattern of why I am who I am, and why others are who they are, and why the world is what it is, based on the inner perspective self itself. So if you are trying to push yourself, please push. If you are not comfortable pushing yourself, that's also okay. So while you're sharing with each other also in the groups, we'll be doing some self-work. We'll share a couple of things in the group, and then again we go back to the self-work. So that's how we are going to do that. Wherever you are not comfortable sharing or not participating, that's perfectly fine. Just take a call wherever you want to draw the line for yourself. Right? So you can come here. So there can be a group of 3 here as well. When we start the session, there are some colors, there are some pens, there are some like crayons and pencils all. One sheet each is good for all of you to do this practice. One for one group? Or? One for one person. Oh. Yeah. Colors you can just use as much as you want to. Lokesh, can you pass it? And there also. One more sheet. अच्छा दे दिया क्या ठीक है cool so I'll start with my introduction also. I'm Gurkaram. I work as a social impact professional. I work in a non-profit. I've been working in non-profits for the past 7 to 8 years. Started as a volunteer to taking my leap into the like the benefit of people and the and the world in itself. So that's what I'm trying to do. I work in an NGO called the Nudge Institute, where we are trying to make India poverty-free within a lifetime. What is the name? The Nudge Institute. So it's like you provide the nudge to the people so that they can start propelling by themselves. And we are working currently with like around 3 lakh families in India, etc. And my role is fundraising. So while I was in programs earlier, I am exploring the fundraising part, where I'm working with CSRs, philanthropies, etc. So that's my current role there. Apart from that, I love to travel. That's my favorite pick from one of the travels. It's, I think at 4,500 meter. It's one of the peaks that we did in Dharamshala. And I link my learning and traveling with each other a lot. And that's how my journey has also been. I've started as a facilitator in my last organization where I used to facilitate for children. It's been 3 years since I have not done it now. So it's going to be again a restart for me. I'm very glad and grateful to all of you also for giving me that space right now. And learning generally happens through these experiences because like at times I've done hitchhike experiences where without money I've just gone onto the highway in Ladakh and spent in stranger's house for 3-4 days and came back with my own experiences. So I just keep documenting that, keep reflecting on those pieces for myself. And that has just built a very positive view for the world for me. Where I feel like world is kind. I think that's how I tell people why I do what I do. People are kind, world is kind. Something will happen, I'll figure it out. And I'm not going to die. If I'll die, I'll die in peace. So whatever. So that's my general philosophy of life also. Today what we are going to do is we are going to do this reflection exercise. But before we do that, some bit of centering is going to be important for us. Right. So I invite you all to just look into the center of the circle. Ignore everything around you and just look at the center of the circle. While you are focused there, just start focusing your breathing pattern. If you can feel your heartbeat, amazing. Just be with what senses are coming to your body right now. Now try to expand your vision. Keep looking at the center, but through your peripheral vision, just see and identify at least two more things. It can be the part of the wall itself. It can be somebody sitting next to you. Let's activate your hearing. While you're looking, let's try to hear what you can hear around you. It can be my voice, it can be the sound of the fan, the traffic from outside. Come back to the center. Breathe in deeply. And exhale with a sigh. Breathe in again. Exhale with a sigh. I'm going to ask you a question. What are you feeling right now? And you could be feeling anything, but there are colors. If you're feeling a particular color, what color is that? I could be feeling blue right now, but it doesn't mean blue has to be negative, right? Any color. Sorry? Polo. Okay. Yeah. And you don't need to really say that white it has to be peaceful only. White can be the most scariest thing you've seen, right? So whatever is your experience, just connect that color to that. You have colors, pick up that color, and on the top middle of your page, just draw what you're feeling right now. Just draw it out, just on the top of the sheet. There's a pen. So, for example, when I did this activity, I was feeling like a plant because it's like a coming back into facilitation again. But it's orange because I also see sunsets as a peaceful space. So they don't need to be connected. However you're feeling right now, just draw it out. You don't need to be a good artist. Landscape sheet on the top. If you're done, if you want to share with your group, you can do that. Not compulsory. Nice. We are done.
When you say draw emotion, you also meant the object should signify the emotion or?
However it's your metaphor. It can be anything. Need not be equal. Okay, if you're done, the next thing is to draw these three shapes in this order on a sheet. Whatever color. Whatever color you're feeling in the same order. A rectangle, a triangle, and a circle. Draw it bigger, because we'll be doing things inside. Just probably the same proportions will be good. Done? My first question and invitation to all of you is to think about love, the things you like, the things you admire. Generally, in other people in the world, what does come to your mind? Let's say if you have to imagine the person you admire the most in your life, there'll be some certain qualities that you really like about them, right? And if there are a group of people that you really like, you really admire in your family, in your colleagues, your friends, what are those things? What are those qualities that attract you towards these people, and that's the reason why they are there in your life also, right? Think about that, and the bottom of the triangle, just draw those things. Draw or write, whatever works the best for you. How many ever you want to draw? Like not these things. These are mine. But what do you think?
What is fire?
Fire is like I like the energy. No, these are my things. What do you feel good about? For example, if I say world is kind, people are kind, so that's why I have drawn a heart. But if you feel somebody, you really like people who are confident, and you see confidence as a like a person standing tall, and you just want to draw a stick figure of that, you can do that. This is for me. Atom is like more people are very much into learning and that. So these are my metaphors. There's a different kind of leaf. Yeah. The things that you like about other people, just draw in the bottom of the triangle. You can write it out also. You can use multiple colors if you want to present it differently. Probably think about the best friends that you have had, the mentors you have had, or the people you want to be like. Why are people around you are great people? Why do you love the people you have in your life? Let's take 10 more seconds.
Writing is so much easier than drawing.
That's true. Drawing just connects you more with the things that you're feeling because it takes time. So instead of saying, let's say, love, while you're drawing a heart and coloring it out, you're at least.
When your drawing is poor, then it takes more effort to make sure that.
Then forgive yourself. You don't need to be good in drawing, yeah. Huh?
How do you draw honesty?
What do you see in honesty? Like, honesty, if you see, let's say, honesty, I see as transparency also. So I would probably draw a clear glass or something like that.
How do you draw non-judgment?
हाँ. Cool. Once you're done, the next step is to come to the circle and now think one step further. Like zoom out a bit again. These are the people in your life. What are the things you like, love, admire in the world generally? There may be things you don't like, but there may be a lot of things that you like. Just think about the positives for now. World, entire world, like general. People are people are great. People are kind. People are driven.
Does it have to be about people?
Sorry,
Can it be things about the world that we like? Does it have to be about people?
I read the qualities in people that you admire. But if you want to add the world is beautiful, that's also a good way to write it up.
The same people you love the most. This is world in general.
A world in general. It's like a second person, but that's a third person for you. Third, fourth, fifth, whatever degree you want to take it.
Is that what you make yourself?
Decoding already, ah. Huh?
You gave us the hint.
Yeah, that. Just draw it out, write it up. What makes you feel hopeful about the world? What inspires you when you wake up and probably you are feeling demotivated? You can think about the celebrities you like, your role models, people from history maybe. Another 20 seconds. Once you're done with the circle, come to the rectangle. And there, write the things that you love about yourself. What are the things you really like about yourself? You, you've thought about the things you like in your friends, the people right next to you, the things you love about the world in general. What are the things you like about yourself? Once you're done, just read out for yourself what you have written there. Start with you, to them, to I. 2 to 3 to 1. And whenever you feel ready and comfortable, you can share it on your group. Take 2 minutes. Yeah. Share what you have written and any patterns that you see observing also.
I generally not this is what the word is. I generally, when I write about work, I like to be
Let's take 1 more minute, folks. Folks, can we come back? Did everybody get a chance to share? Yeah. Would anybody like to just share their observations of what they heard, observed, or learned from the group itself? Or generally, like what came out, what insights can you really form? You can be specific, you can be abstract.
We found it like empathy across certain attributes are common, like empathy.
So, in the world, in others, and in yourself.
Yeah, like within for a particular person and within the group itself.
Fair enough. So, you could see some things, let's say one thing is there across all three spaces.
Across all three
With all three of you also. Nice. Sorry?
Yeah, it was interesting because in her case, the world basically meant things in the world which nothing to do with humans necessarily. Most of it.
That's fine.
Like her thing was very diverse when I saw this compared to mine, which was against not a similar thing across the three things.
Got it. Tarun?
There's a pattern of people having fewer emojis for self rather than for their friends.
Yeah. But did everybody observe this thing which Vatsal just mentioned? What I like in others and what I like in the world, at times there are a couple of things I like about myself also. So that pattern do emerge out. I like people who are empathetic because maybe I'm also very empathetic. I love the people who are, let's say, very growth oriented, very, like always learning and growing. And that also makes me motivated to do that because that's either I am that or I want to be that. But there's some reflection of that particular trait in me also, right? So, what I wanted to just get to through this activity was also that what I see in others and the world comes back to me. And what I see about myself is what I'm seeking in others also. So it's a two-way street. We started from outside, but if we start inside out, who I am is what I'm trying to project and capture from the world also. The things I really like are the things I'm also finding outside. The things I lack but I want are the things I'm finding inspiration from outside in the world as well. Right? Are we on the same page? Could you feel that through the reflection exercise? Yeah. Let's do another part of it.
I think just quickly,
Yeah.
thing, I would be curious about your response to that because I noticed some diversity in her. Right?
Okay.
So I'm just wondering if you agree with this or
No, maybe I'm the exception.
Fair enough. But if you want to talk about it, we can now also if you want to share.
I think I grew up in a dysfunctional family.
Okay.
So I didn't have a lot of issues with perfectionism, not an automatic negative thought. So even though these are very happy, my internal thing is cross, question mark.
Got it.
So it doesn't affect outcomes.
Got it. I would say let's wait for the whole session to pan out and then let's come back to that as well. Because I think maybe the next part will start linking back to us. Think, pair, share is done. Now let's look at the other tangent. Negative. Things you loved, but the things you hate. Like I'm sure there's at least one person or one kind of person you see in outside, like bahar pe ghoom raha hai. Like you immediately don't like them. Right? There'll be somebody who will trigger you. You don't even know their name, you have seen them for the first time, but you don't like that person. There are people who you generally like, who could have their own journey in your life, but now you don't like them. The people or traits that you don't like, let's start with the same thing, but this time inside the figures. Inside the triangle, the things you don't like, you hate, you despise as negative as you can in other people. You don't like when people are judgmental, you don't like when people are transactional. People you know. Yeah, triangle.
So what do you like in our friends?
Friends, family, your peers. You don't like when somebody micromanages. which means somebody takes away the autonomy from you.
I just don't like.
Finding it very hard to make distinction between rectangle and circle. It's like so much overlap is happening. So I'm getting curious of how people differentiate this.
So that is certain formulas you can spare, but you don't have a
I'm talking about this as well.
second and third.
This
This is over.
Yeah.
This is like just unshaped circle.
Yeah.
Third will subsume this and over. It's not good.
And words can be like, you might not say violence, let's say in the second one, but violence in the world is what you hate, generally. So that can be the case. It can be more philosophical also. You can be like, capitalism I don't like, or socialism I don't like, whatever you don't like.
Okay, and let's say
Yeah.
this logic probably only applies to the world. Yes.
The feeling can be same, the words can be different, but metaphor can again be the same while you're drawing it out. Yeah. After triangle, you can shift to the circle. Wait before you come to the rectangle. The second and the third you can finish. Once you're done with the triangle and the circle, just read it out for yourself. Let's wait before we get to the rectangle. What are the things you don't like about others? How are they panning out in the world? Just give me a thumbs up once you're done. Hmm? Yes. Done? All of you? With the triangle and the circle? There's the two. Now I invite you all to just look at the things that you have written. Choose the top 2 or 3 for yourself. What are the top 2 or 3, the most intense top 2 or 3
In the negatives.
in the negatives?
So both categories or one category?
Like both overall. Unique 2s or unique 3s. First choose, done. Once you've chosen these things, now
Each or three altogether.
all together. But unique 3. Once you're done choosing,
Pick them or tolerance?
no, it's your call. However you want to mark it out. The next step is to think about the times when you have exhibited those 3 things yourself. Let's say one thing that you chose was judgmental. Just be harsh on yourself if you can. Just go slightly stronger. And think about the time when you were judgmental to others. Think about how often you were judgmental to others. If transactional is what you have chosen, how transactional are you? If aggression is what you don't like in others, are you aggressive yourself? Think about it. Think about the time when which you can connect with it. This might also be the good time where you have been telling yourself a different story, but you want to correct it out for yourself. Sorry? If you have some instances in mind, now start filling the rectangle for yourself. In the rectangle, what are the things you don't like about yourself? Now, let's come to the rectangle and let's start filling the rectangle with the things you don't like about yourself, the things you hate about yourself, the things you really want to change about yourself, the things you feel hard to accept about yourself. Done? And once you're done, it's a good time to start sharing with each other. Whatever you feel comfortable sharing. You can start the shares in your group. Whatever you feel comfortable sharing. If you don't want to share, it's okay.
People who don't support other people, like suppose you get money for this person. Actually, this is the hardest way because whenever these two things, I think I get stuck in the middle and you know, I don't think of these things. Even when I got holidays,
People, 1 more minute.
But you guys don't see this
Folks, let's wrap up. Vatsal, smile, Nidhi.
That was more fun, but this was like it is like kill all the layers.
So since so firstly, so how you're writing other books, like the
No, I don't think that's specifically.
I have a lot of self-doubt.
I just copy paste.
Folks, let's get back. Hope everybody got a chance to share. Same drill. What emerged out for you? What observations do you have? What are your learnings, if there are any learnings, from the practice for yourself and the discussion in general? What came out?
For me, actually, there was no overlap between things I did in me and things I did
In others. Fair enough. Anybody else? Okay. Any other thoughts?
So suppose you have like general like discrimination, subjugation as negative, apart from 3D being common.
Okay. We're reading common in two of you or Acha, general. Okay. Hmm. Fair enough. So I'll tell you a story which worked for me, which also brought me here to talk about this topic. I have no background in psychology, etc. So it's a very new arena for me also. But an experiment which I did was at the work for the last 7 to 8 years, I've been very self-critical towards myself. Even if a comma is misplaced or kuch nahi hai, I would always feel people are going to be looking down on me. Or if I'm not meeting a deadline, if I'm not saying yes to the work that I have to complete, and generally, and that comes out in other relationships also, the fear of being looked down by somebody was the one which was giving me a lot of stress. And this was, I think, 2-3 months ago ka realization. Where my reflections that I also look down on people. I'm very non-forgiving in my team, in my relationships also. So if I am like that, that's what I'm also projecting. I'm just assuming people are not non-forgiving. Nobody's telling me that I'm not going to forgive you for this. or I'm going to hold you accountable really strongly for missing a comma or not having a capital A at the start, etc. But those things were very self-projecting, and that just vanished my stress for a couple of days in the beginning, and now again it it, it started very extreme, and now I'm just trying to balance it out for myself. Right? It's a very recent example. That's why I thought of bringing this topic also here. You may see the patterns right now, you may not see the patterns, but it's also a self-work thing, right? It took me many times to just deal with one particular pattern, one particular discomfort to get there. For you also, you'll just have to sit with it, journal about it. But there's a name to this whole theory also, which is called projections. There's a theory on projections, which is a defense mechanism, which says that individuals unconsciously attribute their own unacceptable feelings, desires, and traits to others. Right? And this is something which we see in other relationships also. For example, if I talk about the romantic relationship to start with, if I have a tendency to be disloyal to my partner, I'll always keep questioning their intentions also. Right? But the moment, or probably the way to fix it is just sort myself out. And if my own area is clean, that tendency of judging others or thinking others might also be in the same arena is going to get reduced. It might not change the reality, but it will change the way you are perceiving things around. Right? We're talking about the parent and child relationship. Does anybody else have any example of how a projection can work out in a parent-child relationship?
It's about last week.
Sorry?
It's about how much independence the parent can give it. The parents, they had a bad relationship with their parents.
Correct.
And they want to ask their children. And
Very true. Very true. Like, and I think we also at this stage have started seeing those patterns where I'm behaving like my dad in this scenario or my mom in this scenario. So those things also get projected. We'll talk about that because that's another layer to it.
Goals and aspirations, like parents.
वो नहीं कर पाए तो that just comes to us. Correct.
Especially for mom and the body image. I think maybe it's little goals and aspirations, but it can be.
Fair enough.
Sometimes kids who grown up in an unhappy family, they don't want to have kids of their own because this is so much stress. So sometimes people, they want to make, it can be converse also.
Of course.
Sometimes people want to have a happy family, so they want to have kids so that they want that to be there. Take away, like, from toxic experiences.
Right. Friendships. How does that work out in friendships?
Loyalty,
Loyalty. An example on that?
like you're putting your whole thing into the relationship, and you're saying this person is a good friend of yours, and then the other person is not reciprocating in that same manner, even though
But does that mean you are also
I'm
getting there?
predicting that what the meaning of good friend, what that means,
fair enough?
like that the definition is
You're basically trying to influence how they should be, then accepting how they are in a way also. Fair enough.
So I think it's more like I'm projecting the same level of friendship that I'm feeling for, let's say,
Huh.
I'm assuming that he also feels the same.
Fair enough.
that also. Yeah.
And vice versa. The amount of friendship I want from them, I am overdoing it on my part, so that they also start caring for me the same way. That also works out a lot in relationships, romantic relationships also.
it's like vulnerable. Because there could also be like inverse projection when it comes to friendship. So like we often seek out things that we are lacking in ourselves to like complement us or to augment us. So it could be like an inverse form of projection. So for example, if I know that I'm very lazy, I might actually seek out friends to be my like study buddy or whatever.
Yeah.
So that they can keep me in check and I can learn things from them.
Fair enough. Vulnerabilities you mentioned.
I think lead to a self-fulfilling process where since so it's like till kind of get in the same way. What happens is like since you can't establish a common knowledge, you assume the worst and then you act it out and
Right.
in a way you advancing create what you kind of dislike.
And does that happen that if you were on the other side, you might actually behave the way you're expecting the other person to behave?
Yeah, so I think it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
been on the other side.
Correct.
So you act in a different way, but then that kind of backfires and it wouldn't have probably happened that way, but
Correct.
once
Correct. See, here again, the thing is, we won't be able to control what actually they do, but we'll be able to control how we are feeling about the whole situation. Right? It's a very stoic way of saying, I'm responsible for how I'm feeling. So that responsibility I can take. But if I'm going to be shittier to somebody else and I'm feeling the same thing because I'm projecting that they'll also be shittier to me, then that is where I need to start controlling my own perception of things. Right? Similarly, if we look at workplaces, my example itself, right? I'm being critical to others, that's why I'm feeling critical. People are also critical to me, or vice versa. People are critical to me, that's why I'm critical to. That might be a learning curve also for me. Like somebody else has influenced me to be, yeah, this is the right way of doing things, and I'm just doing that to my subordinates. And that can also work in your parent-child relationship also, right? And general societal and cultural aspects. 5 minutes? Just give me 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to talk about how we can actually look into coming out of it. Or probably let's start the process of healing. The healing process can be lifelong. So there are 3 principles which I could think of. First is self-awareness, mindfulness. Just knowing who I am, where I am. Second is cultivating self-compassion. Start being more forgiving to myself also. So when it is projecting to others, this works. But when others are projecting something negative to you, and you're just being more critical to yourself, your self-compassion will start helping you there. And lastly, seeking external feedback. Have good people. Therapy is one way, but having good friends with whom you can talk, you journal it out and just go back and take feedback on different situations. It can be a benchmarking exercise also. Today I'm like this. You just be slightly scientific about it. After 2-3 experiments, after a week, you just ask your friends again, how am I doing right now? They've seen me in these many interactions. I've put my effort to heal myself in these aspects. Am I doing better or not? Right? What is working, what is not working? It can be hit and trial, it can be scientific. You'll have to figure that out for the situation that we are in. Few tools. My favorite tool is pause. Whenever I'm triggered, I'll just pause. And I'll just think about how I'm feeling. And more than thinking about what I'm feeling, how am I feeling in my body is the big thing which helps me. I'll talk about it in the second last slide. Journaling. If we don't have people to let out with, I just write it for myself. Or just journaling or just scribbling things up so that it starts making sense. One more thing which works is thinking in full sentences. Just sit down, close your eyes and think in full sentences. Today I went there, I did this, etc., etc. Rather than just having parts and phrases, which is how we usually also do in a very rushed manner. Right? Sit for 15 minutes, think in full sentences. A lot of clarity will also start coming in the way it comes with journaling also. Alternate framing is it's a theory A and theory B. My theory A is that people are critical. That's why I should be more careful about my work. But they can be theory B. How can I frame it in a positive way at that particular moment while I've taken the pause? So that discomfort goes away. If my partner is going to be disloyal to me, versus I probably don't know where they were because they were actually busy and I'm just going to leave it there. What's the reason? That you just change the theory and have an alternate explanation to it. Right? Meditation, body scanning, again works there. Body scanning with a pause. Take a pause and see where it's coming to your body. That really helps. Mirroring or NVC. Mirroring is in a way where I see you hurt me. Instead of saying that, I will say you said this thing which triggered my need of feeling validated and I'm feeling hurt. The moment you change the way you're talking, it becomes non-violent. I'm not accusing somebody for what they have done. I'm saying you did something and that something has to be in action and factual way. Like if there's a camera and the camera is just recording something, what a camera would see. Camera would not see the emotions, camera would see the actions. You came late after deciding at 8 p.m. we'll be meeting, but you came late. I felt that my need of being recognized or validated, or my need of feeling important, that somebody else is putting effort for me, that did not get met. That's why I'm feeling a little negative or angry or dissatisfied about it. Rather than saying the other person, why did you do that to me? Right? And lastly, non-violent communication. Non-violent communication.
So, for doing that, let's say they don't care, and you're doing even more, and then you not caring, and that only hurting even more.
Again, then the point is your self accountability, right? You chose to feel that way. I'm choosing to give them the trust, and I'm choosing to assume them in their best interest, which is keeping you at peace at that moment. As I said, you'll not be able to change the circumstance. You'll be able to change how you're feeling about it. Whatever you'll do, if they'll have to be dishonest to you, they will be dishonest to you. So either you can be stressed about it and always, always be on your toes, or you can just change the way you're thinking. So at least you are at peace at that step. And if they are dishonest to you, then you just draw a line, so it doesn't happen to you next time. Right? And when you will say, "मैंने खुद के लिए ऐसा किया," when you will say that I did it to myself, I'm the stupid one, I'm the idiot one, then the self accountability just makes it easier for you to handle it also. It's easy to control your own emotions than controlling the external stimulus, right? Lastly, circling is something which Vatsal is going to do. But he just told me this thing on call, and I've been trying to practice it a lot. So I did, and it's on one-on-one also, without even letting the other person, it's working for me. So maybe I can talk about that experience once we have explained the process to others towards the end of the thing, right? One more step to it, projective identification. This is when you instigate others to project the behaviors that you want them to project. There's projection. I'm assuming that they are like that, but here I'm also manipulating them to be like that. That's another step to it. And in our examples, we also talked about it a bit. I'm aggressive, but I'm not accepting that. So I'm trying to instigate the other person so that they get triggered. They snap and they say something loudly, and I say, "No, you are the aggressive one," right? Gaslighting, manipulation, all those things work in this category itself. It's always my fault, but I'm trying to just make it somebody else's fault. Dependency, power, sexuality, and ingratiation are the four basic patterns there. I'm not going to go deeper into it, but dependency is when you are making somebody else your savior. So you're doing whatever so that they start taking care of you. Power is when you are putting somebody else down. Sexuality is when you are trying to put your sexual desires on somebody else so that they start responding the same way, right? And ingratiation is a sacrificial. Okay, I'm making a big sacrifice while I'm doing this, so I recognize me for that. So my actions, what I tell, my intentions are going to be in that action itself, right? To close, I just wanted to share 2 slides on my journey of how and what is working for me. First thing was the Vipassana meditation. I've done it twice, the 10-day insight meditation course, silent meditation course. What really helps is this framework. So there are 4 steps which they say, which leads to the reaction in your body or feelings in your body. First is senses. Something happened. Somebody hit you, right? Or somebody said something to you. Second is your perception. You judge, is it a negative or a positive thing, how you have to feel about it. Your mind starts making those connections. You first feel it in your body, then you feel it in your heart. If you are, like the kids would say, I don't want to really go to the school because my stomach is aching. But actually stressed about something, that's why their stomach is aching. Actually, there's nothing related to their gut, which is what is going on. So that pause, when you're taking a pause and just scanning your body at that moment, okay, I'm feeling something heavy on my, let's say, on my heart or on my chest or on my tummy. That's the point where you can break that to get to your feeling zone and just let it be. That itself. So it's a longer practice. You have to do it again and again. But this is something which has helped me in my journey. And this is also influenced through J. Krishnamurti, analysis is paralysis. Being in the moment, not analyzing what was the intention, why it happened, and what's going to happen now. Just be there and observe what's going on. I'm speaking, you all are listening. Amazing. If I start thinking about you, I'm speaking, but are you catching what I'm trying to say? Are you happy with it? Are you thinking that's time waste? Or I'm thinking on the other side, I'm the God figure here and everybody should just, worship me and shit. That's just where the paralysis starts to happen. Don't analyze, just be there. And those moments, circling also I think works in that exact same space itself. And those moments, these are momentary things. You might not be able to be in that state for all the times, but this ends up helping a lot. So that's it. Thank you.